All right, welcome back for another episode of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the video and article that I do for comicbookinvest.com where I talk about those books that are probably still tucked away in those cheap boxes, those discount boxes, the cheap bins, your half-price books, wherever you buy your cheap comics. These are things you can probably still find if you go digging this weekend, looking for some things tied to some recent news, movies, rumors, announcements, things like that. That are just kind of interesting. Now, not all these books are going to be setting the world on fire. Some of these are just some fun books just to pick up, just to read, or to have in your collection. Take the list that I give you and just have fun with it, because comics should be fun. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Check out that membership buttons and consider joining up. We're going to be doing a revamp soon of our membership program. But until then, also make sure you check out the giveaway that we announced last night on the tax show. I'm all prepped to see Black Panther tomorrow. I know it's premiering technically today, and a bunch of people are seeing it today, but I'm not seeing it until Friday. So I got to wait till tomorrow. So I'm trying to avoid spoilers. But we are giving away this uh, little tiki mug. This was a tiki mug given out at the preview, the Diamond Retailer Summit at Baltimore just recently. This is, again, a pretty cool Black Panther tiki mug. It's pretty heavy, actually. It's a little bit to it, but all you have to do to enter that giveaway is go to the yesterday's tax show, and in the comment section down below, give me your guess for the domestic, you know, box office for Black Panther 2 this upcoming weekend. So basically Friday to Sunday's box office, take domestic side. At your best guess, it'll be closest to the real number without going over. So we're doing a Price is Right style. So whoever gets that, I'll mail you this ceramic tiki mug, for fun. So that's all you got to do. And check out the show as well, because we did cover all of the Black Panther keys and tier listed them out with the audience participation. So we all as a group ranked the best Black Panther comic books. So go check that out if you are all ready for Black Panther, as I am. And again, enough on that. Let's get right into the books. So just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. Okay, so with our first book this week, we are going to tie in with some of this Black Panther stuff, and we're going to look at Riri Williams, who is showing up. As we all know, we've seen the previews, we've seen the trailers. She's showing up in Wakanda Forever. So looking forward to that. And apparently, there's some teases and hints that we could be seeing ties to this series that was part Riri and some of the other young heroes in the Marvel Universe that they have recently been introducing. So this Outlawed series, which ran through, Miles Morales, Ms. Marvel, Champions, like this run started here with this Outlawed one, and maybe we see them kind of run into this, because it seems to be that the tides are shifting away from everybody loving the superheroes again towards that, hey, maybe we need to stop these vigilantes. So the young heroes are Ms. Marvels, are Riri Williams, who'll be showing up. Maybe these teens end up facing this kind of storyline in the series and movies, shows coming up, things like that. Who knows? We might be getting it. So looks like they might be angling that way. So if you're interested, go look for this issue, this Outlawed #1 that came out, I think a few years ago. It wasn't that long ago. But you can still find this one probably out there in the cheap bins. They printed a decent number. This is pretty popular. This is the cover A. There was also a cover B that you want to go digging for. And with it, it's still out there. Like I said, copies sell all right. It's not a lot. Recent copies sell around $9-10, really. Either cover. It's really dealer's choice on that one, which one you prefer. But $9-10 are some of the sales that you see. Some go cheaper. I've seen a couple go a little bit higher, but that's kind of the range we're looking at. Just like the asking prices, again, anywhere from as cheap as $4 into that kind of $10 range. So again, it's not a huge book. It's not a big investment, but I'm telling you, go look for it for like $1 or $2. Go check the cheap boxes, because I've picked up a few of these in the dollar bins. I think I grabbed like 4 or 5 of them. So who knows? I mean, there's only like $1, and this was like months ago, but they're still out there. They're still out there. Take a shot. Who knows? And maybe you get something, maybe you don't. Otherwise, at the very least, I got books that I can give away to somebody. And it's not just these two. There's also that super high ratio invariant that everybody knows where they're standing like in front of the locker. It's like a 1 in 50. Very, very expensive book. But there's also the Walmart version. People like these Walmart variants for one reason or another. Some take off, some don't. So here's another one for your consideration if you want to go check those Walmart packs out there. But the Walmart packs, at least couple of years ago, I think, had this outlawed #1. You're probably not going to find it there now unless your Walmart just really just has stock sitting forever. But this was one of those Walmart books that is out there. Not a lot of sales for this book recently. In fact, I saw one. It was a 9.6 that sold for only $20. So $20 for a 9.6. I mean, it costs more than that to grade this book, and they only got $20 for it. So, not saying everything's going to be a winner, but you never know. And the asking price on this one, it's actually as cheap as $5. It's as expensive as $25. So once again, wide ranges there when people are taking shots at trying to sell some of these books. But I'm not telling you to buy this online. I'm telling you to go dig in the box for it. Maybe find it for cheap. And if you want it, pick it up. If not, you can leave it there for somebody else. But that's our first one. So check out Outlawed. It was a pretty interesting story from what I remember. Like I said, it's been a while since I read it, but it did run over a number of titles for like a couple of months. It was a little mini event that Marvel was running, but this is the first issue. So the first issue of the storyline. So it made the most sense to kind of pick that one out, for consideration. That said, let's go back to some of last week's news. And I think on the tax show last week, I had said that Kristen Milotti, who was the mother from How I Met Your Mother, that she would be playing the Penguin's daughter. It's not the Penguin's daughter. She's playing Falcone's daughter. So she'll be playing Sophia Falcone. So I think I misspoke when I did the news last week. But here we are. Sophia Falcone is set for this Penguin series that we're getting on HBO Max. I like the Penguin. I like the whole Bat universe that they started and created there. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. And this has my interest. Now, if you are interested in the character of Sophia Falcone, you can still probably go and dig and try to find her first appearance. I know a lot of the popular guesses when we were looking at the Robert Pattinson Batman that they were going to be doing Long Halloween as part of that story. I still kind of hope that they do in some fashion, and maybe we get it in a future run, but it was just a great read. So regardless of any ties in the movies, get the Long Halloween because it was a fun read. It's worth your time. That said, in that run, issue 6, pretty cool Poison Ivy for St. Patrick's Day. This is the issue that had the first appearance of Sophia Falcone. So if you want Sophia's first appearance, here she is, and you can get that in this book, which is, again, Long Halloween #6. Now, that run has gotten pricey over the years. Could be tough finding these. People pick them clean, especially the first issue, but maybe some of the later random issues like issue 6 could be buried in a box. Hopefully not, too damaged because this does have that cardstock glossy type cover. So any creases are unforgiving. Like they're there. You're not pressing that out. It's going to be stuck there forever. So hopefully not too damaged. But like I said, even if it's damaged and if it's $1, grab it. Because like I said, just read it. It's worth reading. But with that, it still sells for kind of inconsistent prices. Like the most recent sales, this is why I picked these out. Most recent sales were like 45, best offer on 42, and then there was a couple issue lot, 3 issues that sold for $30. It's kind of expensive for this book. But then I saw, like, if you went back a little further into the summer, like late summer, that it was a little cheaper, more down in like that kind of $20 range. So this is just the recent stuff. And when we look at what the asking prices are kind of, again, in that cheaper range, which makes me wonder why the recent sales were so high. Because you can buy a copy. Granted, it says very fine, so maybe people are hoping for that high grade and paying the premium. Because like I said, there's no press in this book, really. It's glossy. It's cardstock. It's not going to get pressed out. So if there is damage, it's damaged. So very fine issue listed there for $18. There's an auction going on that's listed as near mint minus. That's only at $4 right now. It's got like 3 days left. I mean, who knows where it's going to end. And then $25 for another very fine. So maybe that's it. So maybe that's why these copies are there. And maybe the high grades sell for $40 plus. So if you can find one, it's worth it. Whereas the decent copies are more in that $20, $25. I don't know. All I'm saying is when you're digging in those dollar boxes, if you see this, consider it for cheap. Again, not recommending anybody go buy this stuff for market prices. I'm saying just look for it. See if you can find it. If you find it, great. If you don't, well, it's fun to look, right? It's fun to dig. You never know. You're not going to win every time. You're not going to find the treasure every time. So sometimes you look and you come up empty. More often than not, that's actually the story. But I'm just trying to give you some fun stuff that you might find out there. All right, so Long Halloween, Sophia Falcone, interesting play. If you want to, grab that before we get this Penguin series. Now we're gonna go over to comics with our next one, but we're sticking with DC for whatever reason. I got a bunch of DC for you guys this week, and this one is tied to the new Golden Age book. I haven't been able to read this yet, but I do have a copy coming. My dad picked it up for me, so once I get my comics this weekend, I'm gonna dig into this. But the new Golden Age #1 introduces a new Red Lantern, a new original Red Lantern that was kind of one of those lost heroes that they're bringing into this series. So it's basically they're kind of doing what they did with Marvel did with Sentry. It's like, hey, we had these heroes and they were lost to time and they existed. We're retconning them back in, even though they never existed before. I mean, I get it. I'm not totally opposed to that kind of idea, but there will be some gripes, and rightfully so. So, a new Red Lantern that apparently dates back to, the Golden Age. So, here, this is the new issue I'm talking about, this one shot, the new Golden Age. Jeff Johns writing it. So, interesting new heroes being introduced and all that stuff. And in the back of this issue, there was a bunch of like profile cards, and here's one of them that's basically recapping this Red Lantern that we never knew existed back then. All right. So this is technically, well, I mean, first appearance or not, first mention of him. He's kind of a character profile in the back. But regardless, the Red Lanterns before this one first appeared here. Green Lantern 25, again, Jeff Johns, back in the day. I love this run. I love the Brightest Day stuff, the stuff Jeff Johns did, introducing all the other Lantern Corps. I was digging it at the time. Great stuff. I really enjoyed it. And I still look back on it all fondly. So, issue 25 of Green Lantern introduced a bunch of these other lanterns. Granted, you didn't get a deep character introduction. It was more of just a, hey, boom, look, they're all here all at once, because it was kind of like a tease of things to come. But still, there's Atrocitus and other, another Red Lantern and all these other lanterns behind. So this is like first Larfleeze as well. Another character I really like. So this is a book I always look for anyway, because I like it for Larfleeze, I like it for Atrocitus, but you never know if you could find this out there. It got expensive for a little while, and then it got forgotten about. Then it got expensive again, and it got forgotten about. It's one of those ones goes up and down. Like the wheel goes around, the cycle, ebbs and flows, all of that. So maybe you can find it again as we are at one of those, ebbs, I guess. Right? Because, they canceled the Green Lantern show they were going to do, but then they announced they're doing a new one, but it's focused on John Stewart. Who knows? We're going to get all these other color lanterns and stuff. Who knows what we're getting? But regardless of all that, this issue you can see still sells for anywhere around like $10, $11, but as high as 40. Like it can go up to 40 with sales. Those are a couple November sales, and then that $40 was back in October. But still, kind of surprising. I didn't think it would get that kind of money these days. Again, I thought it was more in that $10 range right now, just kind of forgotten about. So keep a lookout for it. And right now, when I looked for copies, there weren't any of those $10 copies anymore. It was like $30 to $40 or really the asks right now. So, might be tough finding a cheap one, but maybe it's in those boxes, because you can see the things kind of shift. There were cheap copies. Those, to buy it now, and then there was an auction. So there were copies that were only around $10 that were available a little while ago. Just somebody got to this before us. But who knows? Could be out there in those dollar boxes. Just dig and look. Doesn't hurt to look for Green Lantern 25. And yes, there's also a variant 1 in 10, I think, for this. But the chances to find that are going to be even harder. So just look for the regular 25, the supersized finale, and maybe you get lucky. But if you can't find that, just for fun, you can always grab the Red Lantern series, which was also kind of an interesting read, introducing a lot more, Red Lantern characters and whatnot. So keep an eye out for that. There's also a second print as well that, people like second prints. So keep an eye out for that. But Red Lantern #1 is another one you can go and check out in those boxes. Once again, it's not a pricey book. I'm not saying it should be a pricey book. I'm just saying this is kind of a fun thing. You want to look for Red Lanterns. This is the kind of stuff you can look for. Their first appearance and their first series, right? So $5, $1.25 at auction, $9 for a lot of 5 issues for $9. So it's like $1 or less. You can find some of these, even online. So it's probably not going to be too tough to find it for $1 out in the bins. So go dig. Could be fun. And Asking prices, again, aren't expensive. $3 to $6, not a pricey book. And again, I'm not suggesting that they should be. I'm just saying, yeah, it's kind of a fun book to go dig for. And for a buck, you could spend your money on a lot worse. I mean, you can't even get a candy bar anymore for $1, right? Unless you get like one of those deals. I think, was it like two for like $3 these days to get a Snickers, like two Snickers bar? Anyway, I'm not going to complain about candy prices. But that's what I got for DC. We're going to kind of dip back to DC in a minute. But first, let's hop on over to something I had long forgotten about. I'd kind of written off and just done with Walking Dead. Like the series ended. I didn't really care too much for the end story in the comics, and the show has not interested me in a while, so I haven't been watching. I know some people said it got better and all that, but I don't know. It's just too much. I don't have enough time. They lost me. It ran a little long too. I can't commit for like a decade into a show. Like that's a lot to ask. I like enjoyed the Flash, like the CW Flash. I enjoyed that show for a while, but after 4 or 5 seasons, you just start losing momentum as you keep telling me the same stories over and over again. Basically, just tweaking the villain, but it's kind of a rehash of something we've already seen. That all said, and TV show complaints aside, if you are enjoying The Walking Dead, well, maybe you are enjoying the rendition of this character as they're kind of tweaking a little bit some of the backstory, giving him a little bit more from what we had in the comics. So on the TV show, they're adding a little bit more to Mercer's story. So I don't know, and making things better, especially with tweaks to adaptations on screen, can sometimes you know translate to increased interest in the comic books. So we'll see if that happens here. And he's got a pretty cool first in that you don't rarely get, the character full front and center on the cover of the book that they first appear in, but we do get it here with Walking Dead 177. So New World Order, issue 3 of 6. Pretty cool right there, front and center, like I said. And it's not expensive. This is kind of getting near the end of the run. Very decent print runs, like plenty of copies out there. So there's probably overstock in those boxes for only like $1 or $2. And you probably can grab it. Even online, copy sold at auction for 99 cents or $4 or best offer on $8. It's not an expensive one. But who knows? Maybe people get interested again and start looking back at the Walking Dead comics. As we know, we're nearing the end, and then we're going to get spin-offs, and we'll see how this all plays out. But it's, again, one of those fun things you can go and look for. And as far as what's available, again, it's not expensive. $3, $6, $10. Yeah, fair enough. Fair prices, I guess. But if you find it for $1, maybe it's worth your time. Maybe finding a book for $1 and trying to sell it for $10 isn't worth your time. That's fine too. I get it. I wouldn't want to do that. It's a lot of hustle for a very little return. But again, just for fun, we can go and dig and find some of these books too, right? That said, that's my little Walking Dead book for you. We're going to shift sort of back to DC. We're actually going to shift to Vertigo because we know we are getting Sandman season 2. And there was a CBR article that was looking at season 2 and saying, hey, well, we got 3 of his siblings in the first season. So let's see if we're getting the other siblings in the next season. So I figured, you know what? It's a good idea. Let's look at the other siblings for, Dream, for Morpheus, that we could get, cast in the stories that we're going to get in season 2. Who knows? First one we're going to hit up here. We got to go back. I get it. This is going to be a tough book to find, especially in a cheap box. But you never know. You can sometimes find some weird things. You hit up a flea market, you hit up a half-price books, you hit up, Goodwill, yard sale, wherever you find cheap comics. Who knows? So I'm just saying there's a chance. So just be aware of this book as well. So Weird Mystery Tales #1. Yeah, going back a little bit. This is the first appearance of Destiny. So we're getting Destiny. This is before we even had, Morpheus, Sandman, but they tie together. DC tied them together. So yeah, there you go with that. So Destiny first appeared in this weird Mystery Tales. And even though it's expensive in a lot of cases, there are still not as expensive sales as well. So you can look to see, yes, there are sales for $41, $70 for this book. But at the same time, you can see one sold right in that same range. This is November 3rd to 5th for only $12. So not every copy is expensive. Just pointing that out. And even the copy you might find, you go hit up the flea market box and somebody's got a stack of books, they're a little brown, a little beat up. You might get a beat up copy, but you can still get a copy, and maybe you get it for cheap. And you just know what it is if you know what you're looking for. Asking prices, kind of in that same range. Look, $30, $34, but that $34 is for 2 books, so it's split the difference, and you're talking about a $15 to $20 book. Not too bad, right? Who knows? And again, even that $30, that's at auction, and that's for multiple issues. That's a 5-issue, 6-issue lot. So you do the math there, what you're paying per issue if you were to win at auction. Who knows? I'm just saying that's what the asking prices are. Prices are inconsistent online. It's not like this is a huge book that everybody's digging for and hunting for right now. So maybe you can find one for cheap. That's all I'm saying. So you get that first appearance of Destiny, off the table there. Now, if you don't like that book and you want the more modern take, Destiny did kind of appear again in Sandman. So here's where we get the ties to the family. So maybe this is the one you're more interested in. This is Sandman, issue 21, Season of Mists. And I think they mentioned that they might be adapting this for season 2. So I think this is a good idea to pay attention to this run and this book, especially this book, because there's another option here too. First, we're going to start in with here. We got Destiny there in cloaked. I know there's multiple panels throughout this story where you can see, but he's basically a cloaked figure. This is just the first appearance in the comics, so that's why I picked this panel. But multiple panels that you can find Destiny in as well in this issue 21. But we also get the rest of the family showing up as well. Some of them have already shown up in this comic series before now, but one of them that didn't until now was Delirium. So you get Delirium here in this issue number 21 as well. So this is what most people sell this book as. If you look for listings online, it's usually Sandman 21 first Delirium. So that's usually the selling point for this book. But you're getting kind of that reintroduction, that bring back of Destiny in here, as well as just seeing the whole family sitting around the table, which is again something we might see get adapted in the next run on Netflix. Now, all that jibber jabber talking aside, issue 21, what's it sell for? It can sell for low as $8, $20. It can sell for $32. Those are the prices I've got going back from the end of October to like early November. So again, inconsistent pricing. So we can't just say for certain where this is going to land, but the asking prices are in that $15 to $20, $25 range. So anywhere between $15 to $25. A lot of these Sandman books are kind of hitting that ask. But maybe you get lucky and you find a Vertigo run out there. I know. I find the Game of You run like all the time when I flip through the Sandman boxes. Maybe you can find Seasons of Mist. I don't know. I mean, you're not finding the early issues is absolutely going to be tough, but you never know. You could get lucky. Just go dig. You never know what you're going to find. So keep it in mind, because you got first Delirium there, and that's a character we're probably going to get. Probably going to get her, but we'll see. The next and last sibling is the one that kind of walked away, and that's first appearance is here in Sandman. I always thought this was Sandman Orpheus, but it is just the Sandman Special #1. This is a glow-in-the-dark cover, 90s, gimmick goodness. So we got the glow-in-the-dark aspect. I always thought this was called Sandman Orpheus, but this is just the Sandman Special, and I think it's, 1991, I think, is the year. So 90s gimmicks. Good stuff, but this is the first appearance of Destruction, who also went by the name of Olathros, I guess. I didn't think multiple names, but Destruction, so another member of the family. So there you go. This is the last one we could potentially add to the pile. And this book is easy to find. Again, 90s gimmicks, they printed a lot. Sandman started getting popular. They said, you know what? Let's throw a glow-in-the-dark cover and let's start pumping these things out. So this book you can find for $3 to $4. Even now online, that's what it's selling for. And the asking prices could be as cheap as $1.40 up to like $5. So it's definitely not a pricey one. I know you can find this one in the dollar bin. So I don't know, just fun. It's also like a special, so it's a one-shot. You do get the story of like Orpheus in there, and it's pretty cool. It's worth a read. So at the very least, you can get it for the read. So keep an eye out for that one. And that's what I got for you this week. So hopefully you've liked these selections. Hopefully you found them interesting. Again, I'm trying to treat this article and video series more as like a little bit of a scavenger hunt, because I've talked about so many books. I don't want to rehash a lot of stuff, and news announcements makes everything go up so quickly these days. Finding like hot books is not easy. So this is just more kind of fun stuff. So hopefully you're enjoying this take. Hopefully you're enjoying this series still. I appreciate you guys stopping by and checking this out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what more suggestions you would like to see, like for this. Are you still into this? Do you still like the dollar bin options? I know I do the hidden gems and we do the ghosts. So I'm trying to hit different levels of collectability and cost. So this would probably be the cheapest level, and then Hidden Gems is probably the next level, and then Chasing Ghosts usually finds itself on that more expensive level. So that's kind of how I tiered out how I do shows and what I'm trying to present to you guys, to hit a lot of different angles and a lot of different collectors, because I don't know, I like it all. I like all this stuff. So hopefully you like it too, and hopefully you're enjoying it. Again, go comment, get yourself Black Panther Tiki mug. Again, you can have it. It's pretty cool. I kind of wanted to keep it, but Marco gave it to me to give away, so it would have felt weird if I kept it for myself. Though I did keep the Gargoyles ash can, because I said I'm keeping that. But I still have more stuff. More stuff he gave me from that diamond. So I'm going to give it away. We got to get around to giving it away. So I do have a soda can Goliath. Maybe I think Gargoyles might be coming out next week. So maybe we'll do something to give that little soda can Gargoyle away. I don't know. I don't mind. I like giving this stuff away. It's kind of fun. And I love giving back and showing appreciation to you guys for hanging out and checking out this content, because I just do this for fun. So hopefully you're having fun watching it. And I'm done talking. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you come back tomorrow. Mail Call Madness is back, as Jedi and Dom got a whole new show. And come back on Saturday for, Saturday night special, the boys live show. Sunday, Star Wars. I may not make it this week for Star Wars, but Tales from the Dark Side will still be there on Sunday night. And then Monday, we'll start it over. And I don't know. We'll see. But I'll see you guys soon. And thanks again. All right. Later.